Thank y'all for coming to our news conference today. Chief Dingler is going to be releasing a statement about the shooting that occurred here at the police department on January the 22nd, 2015. We will entertain one question from each news agency following the news conference. At that point, Chief Dingler will be leaving. We will be showing you the video from the lobby footage. So at that point, we will we'll go through that. We'll actually explain that. And at the end, we will actually provide each of the media with a copy of that video for you to take back to your respective stations. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On January the 22nd, 2015, at 6:28 p.m., Christiana Coignard entered the Longview Police Department lobby and picked up the after-hours phone that rings to Public Safety Communications and asked for help. When asked what she needed, she refused to tell the communications operator what the problem was. Police officers were dispatched to the police department a short time later. When Officer Glenn Durr arrived, Coignard indicated to Officer Durr that she had a gun, which resulted in a physical confrontation when Officer Durr attempted to secure her. During the physical confrontation, Officer Durr determined that she had a large butcher knife, which she was attempting to pull out of her waistband. Officer Durr was able to disengage from Coignard. Officer Gene Duffy entered the lobby during the confrontation and drew his taser. While Officer Grace Bagley was entering the police department lobby, she saw Coignard had a knife. As Coignard charged Officer Durr with the knife in a threatening manner, Officer Duffy deployed his taser at Coignard with no effect. Officer Durr then discharged his weapon 3 times. Officer Bagley fired her weapon twice. EMS was summoned to the scene, and Coignard was transported to the Good Shepherd Medical Center at 6:45 p.m. She was pronounced dead by Justice of the Peace James Mathis. Longview Police immediately locked down the front area of the police department to secure the scene. As in this case and as others involving shootings result in serious bodily injury or death, an investigation is conducted by the Department of Public Safety Texas Rangers. The involved officers have been placed on paid administrative leave. As this is an active investigation and additional information may be available later, it will be released at that time. The case will be presented to the Gregg County District Attorney for review upon completion. Our thoughts and prayers are with the involved officers and the family of Ms. Coignard. Okay, I'll take questions now.
Valerie.
Okay, let's see. A lot of people, are saying that it was just overkill. There were 3 shots, and then there was, this one girl. Could something else have been done? Could she have been shot in the arm or something else to prevent a death?
The officers went back or went right to how they were trained. What they did is what they were trained for.
Richard?
Can you speak to the officers a little bit more, tenure with the department or their rank here instead of just their names?
Yes, Grace Bagley has been here since March of 11. Glenn Durr has been here since January of 13. And Gene Duffy has been here since April of 96. All 3 are patrolmen.
Any of these officers been involved in any other instance where they had to pull their weapon in?
Yes, I'm sure that they have pulled their weapon. That is something that unfortunately has to happen once in a while.
Jimmy.
Are any of these 3 officers, or more specifically, of the 7 police officer involved shootings, are there any officers who have been involved in multiple of those instances, or are they all different officers?
You're talking about the others or just this one?
This one with the other 6.
We probably we'll answer that question at a later time. Do you have any other questions?
Why do all patrol officers carry tasers or other forms of force to use? And why do you feel like the video will show to us that there was a reason that deadly force in this instance was necessary?
All the patrol officers carry tasers plus expandable batons. I think you'll see from the video that the time was a factor, and there was no time for the officers to use other means.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
You will also be furnished with a copy of the photo of the knife that she used. And that'll be in your packet when you leave today. All right, we will go back slow motion and kind of go through the events that occurred. This is the red phone that we've talked about that actually brings back to emergency communications where the dispatchers actually answer the phone. That's the phone that she did pick up to ask for an officer. Officer Durr comes in. He's going to attempt to talk to her. At this point, she holds her hand up. She said she has "I have a gun" written on her hand. Okay. At this point, he begins to try to secure her. He does. She says she has a gun. He has to secure her at that point. And they begin to have a physical altercation. I believe at this point he has not seen that she has the weapon, the knife. He's still under the assumption she has a gun. During this time, he finds out that he actually sees the weapon. She's starting to try to maneuver. When she's moving around, she's starting to try to maneuver to get to that weapon. It was in her waistband. As she's down on the floor here, and you'll see when he gets up in just a second, she actually has the knife out it's under her right arm, and you'll be able to see as she starts to get up. Officer Duffy comes in, he has his taser drawn. See the shadow of the knife as she's getting up off the floor. Right here in her right hand. Officer Duffy's taser. This is Officer Bagley. You'll see her start to raise the knife up. At that point, Officer Durr shoots. Officer Duffy has already deployed his taser. Officer Durr shoots his weapon, fires his weapon. As she's coming at Officer Durr with that butcher knife. And Officer Bagley has fired her weapon as well. All of the last portion happened within just a few seconds. Those officers had to make life or death decisions in just a split second. Thank y'all for coming today. Like I said, y'all will be provided with a copy of the complete video. You will be provided with a copy of the picture of the knife, as well as on your DVD. There are photos, still photos of some of this, and there's our statement today. So thank you again. Thank you.